Coming to our weekly news conference, got a lot to talk about in the middle of conference play. Actually, the season to me is flying by. When the guys play the Citadel this week, we will have played everybody one time, so we start playing folks the second time around. But the Bears this past week on the road at UNCG, 23-point overcame the deficit against a team that was unbeaten at home, that was tied for first place in the conference, and they were giving up the fewest points per game in conference play. So a great win by the Bears against UNCG, and then of course close game once again. If you just follow the Southern Conference this year, men's action, the games are going to be one possession games. It's just destined to be that way, so every possession is important, and the Bears have a couple of big games this week. Be at home against the Citadel on Wednesday night, and then take to the road against Chattanooga Saturday afternoon. With that, we'll bring up head coach Ryan Ritter.
All right. Good afternoon to everyone. Appreciate everyone being here. Before we start talking about us, how about, come on, man, Rick Cameron, number 1,000, baby. That's pretty cool. I know I said something on the radio, but we've only been here short, 5-6 months, but I think you could tell by our guys' reaction what he means to our program, and I don't know, you'll find a better dude in the business. So we're appreciative of everything you do for us, man. Appreciate you. So just got 1,000 more, right?
Yes, sir. That's good.
Okay.
And 999, I will win.
Say, sign me up. No, I think Rick kind of said it. We were 1-1 this week, and I think we've played eight conference games, and 7 of those have been 1 or 2 possessions with a couple minutes to go. And just kind of explaining to the guys this morning, and I think they all feel the same way. Is our record I think is 10-11 and 3-5, but I feel like we've got a championship bunch, and we're a couple adjustments away from really making some noise and feeling really good about ourselves. And said it on day one, said it on day 100. This thing is going to be process driven, and I really believe those guys in the locker room believe it. I know they believe it, and we're close. I don't know a lot of teams right now that can be down 23 on the road to the number 1 team in the league and find a way not just to come back and compete, but come back and find a way to win a game on the road, which hadn't been done in UNCG's building this particular year. So we got one game left before we get to the halfway point. A lot of respect for Citadel. They've had a lot of tough, close games, but I think when you look at the totality of the league, I've got a healthy respect for every opponent we play. I think it's a really good basketball league, bordering on that top 11, 12, 13 leagues in the country. But I know our guys feel like we have as good a chance as anybody to go out and win every single night, and I think there's real belief that we're only a couple adjustments away from making this thing really special. Now you got to do those things. You can't just talk about them. You got to go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You got to find ways to get better, not just particularly on game nights. And I know this group's up for the challenge. So in terms of UNCG, I think what was it? Ken Palm or ESPN gave us a 1.2% chance to win with in the first half, and then also 7 minutes to go in the second half. But I don't think these guys really care about that. I think they just care about what's next, what's in front of them, and give them credit, found a way to win, and then obviously welcomed a really hungry Furman team in here that had taken a couple tough losses. We got a chance to tie the ball game with a couple seconds to go, and give credit to Furman. That's a good basketball team. They've won championships before. And again, it was a good college basketball night. Would like to come on the other side of that, but not deterred, not disappointed in the result. But I think when we go in that locker room, I've been in championship locker rooms before, and we're building towards that. I've been in some locker rooms where it's been tougher. You've lost a game or two and feel like the ceiling's fallen, feeling like everything's going wrong. This group disappointed. They're hungry in terms of the result on Saturday, but I think they understand what's the bigger picture. And I referenced by our practice this morning, I think they're up to the challenge, and I'm fired up to play another home basketball game against Citadel on Wednesday. So with any of that, I'll let you guys open it up for questions.
Saw your reaction on the social media pages after the UNCG win. Just describe what you were feeling at that moment as a coach.
Well, I think you see a lot of reactions from coaches. Some dance, some do. I was a physical guy, man. I like getting in there, getting in the mix. I think it's really important that you celebrate the wins with these guys. These guys, man, we're asking them to do something that's uncommon. We're asking guys to put a team before themselves. And in today's society, very rarely do you put teams in front of yourself. And so when our team collectively has a great event, like we did on Wednesday, I think it's important to celebrate with them. we go through the lows together, we go through the highs together, and man, that's pure joy. I mean, you walk in that locker room, you see a bunch of smiling faces, and it's a blast, man.
And then what were you telling your team at halftime, even though all these other outlets were giving you about a 1% chance to win that game? I mean, what was getting
I think Cam will say the truth is we walked out of that locker room, and I'm looking at the staff, and I'm like, hey man, we're gonna win. Like this group, it wasn't anything I said. It was, you could tell it was him, it was Chip, it was guys in there down 13 at half, and they're looking like, hey, what's the adjustment? Like, we're gonna win this game, and you always want to feel that way as a coach, but there was a real belief. I walked right out of the tunnel, I looked at the staff, and I said, hey man, we're gonna come back and win this thing. And sure enough, these guys made some plays and found a way to get it done. It's really more about them than probably anything I was saying in the locker room.
And then I know you've had 4 games that are losses decided by 5 points or fewer. I know against Furman you went down to give up 3 about a minute to go. I mean, are you guys, like, what are the adjustments that you think the team has to make? Are you just working more on late game situations? What's it going to take to get over the hump, I suppose?
Yeah, and I think it's not really just conference, right? We've played 13 close games this year, so we're 7-6 in close games. So what are the adjustments? Telling these guys this morning, it's not 100 different things. It's we're a possession or 2 away each game. So it's not not 8 or 9 or 10 possessions away. Maybe a personnel thing, it may be a ball screen coverage, it may be an extra effort in transition. But I think all these guys and our staff included, we all got 1% more to give. And if we were in here 7-1, I don't think you'd see any different reaction from us. If we were 1-8, I don't think you'd see any different reaction because the truth is, like I said, man, this is try to be the same consistent dude every day. Our guys are giving us everything they can right now. I think it's just helping them with some in-game adjustments maybe as we go forward. But it's not a drastic change. It's 1 or 2 possessions every game.
And then obviously 2 weeks ago y'all played Sanford at home, close game, really, really close. And I mean, what was that like to be in that game for the whole time? You gave a really good game.
Well, I think the plan is to go out and win every game. That's our expectation, is to go out and win the basketball game. And I don't care if it says Sanford or Western Carolina or VMI or Furman, this is the next opponent. And Sanford's having a good year. Obviously, they won the league last year, but I mean this with respect to everybody. I don't think there's a team on our schedule we can't go out and beat. And so when we tip the ball up, our expectation is to come out on top, whether it's home, road, neutral, moon, I don't care. Like our job is to go out and try to win the basketball game.
You talk about being 1 adjustment away. Mentioned it several times, all these close games. What do you think that adjustment is? And if you don't know yet, how do you go about figuring that out?
Yeah, it's been a couple different things in each game. I think some games have been a little bit better defensively, some games have been a little bit better offensively. But I think it's the overwhelming thing is just asking these guys 1% more. Maybe that's a little more attention to a scout. Maybe it's a couple extra shots in the gym. Maybe it's us making an adjustment. I don't think it's one particular item that, hey, man, we've got to get better at this one thing. I think it's a collection of everybody just giving us a little bit, 1% more of what we're asking. Maybe it's an extra film session. Maybe it's, but I don't think it's one outlying theme for every game. It's a good question.
How big is it having a 5th-year guy like Cam Bryant in your locker room and getting people fired up when things need to kind of change a little bit, change a little bit?
I was telling this morning, man, one of the best things he does, his energy is contagious. You can see when he's getting going, our crowd's getting going, his energy is contagious. And this is a guy that has real life experiences. He's not a 19-year-old coming in here and hoping it works out. This is a guy that's gone through ups, he's gone through downs, he's been in winning locker rooms, he's been in losing locker rooms. This is a guy that we're tasking him to guard the best player every night. That's not always an enjoyable job. It sounds fun, but when your job is to go shut down the opponent's best player, and the way our system is, when we really put a big onus on that, he's got to lean on his experience. He can absolutely utilize that for the next 10 games for us to really get this thing going and have some fun in March.
Ryan, what can you say about the job Marcus has done here these last 2 games? He stepped up big, obviously, against UNCG with 13 points there in the second half. Just to talk about his ability just to stay ready and keep working in practice and be ready for his moment there. Yeah,
I don't think we can talk about that enough because it's not just Marcus. I said it in the locker room after the game. It's hard for everyone, but specifically young people, to get told no, and have a tough situation, then be ready when your opportunity presents itself. Most people worry about so many things that they can't control. That dude was ready. Like, he was ready when his number was called. He played the last 11 minutes of the game. And everyone sees that night, but that kid was ready throughout the week. He was ready when his number was called. He prepared the right way. He knew the game plan, and when his number was called, he was ready to go. So I think that's a message to everybody. Like, focus on what you can control, and I think you're going to like the end results when you really buy into that. Pretty good, Rick?
Good. That was Coach.
Appreciate you.
All right, let's go, Cam Bryant. Cam came out a couple of games ago, had to look to make sure it was the same guy. He's picturing the media guide, and he's changed a little bit. Still playing well. Coach talks about the energy he brings. Cam Bryant, a graduate player from Camilla, Georgia. Cam, you would give us an opening statement about how you feel the season's going.
How everybody doing? I'm Cam Bryant. You know, I know the record don't look like we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be a better record, but we know we can be. You know, the second half of the season, we know what we need to do to make it. You know, a better stride for the tournament, because that's the end goal, to get to the tournament. You know, not the regular season. It's cool to win that, but the end goal is to win the tournament, the championship, go to the tournament. So sorry. Any questions?
Cam, where do you get your leadership abilities from? Was there somebody in your life that like kind of rubbed off on you and made you want to be a leader or make a difference?
Honestly, I wouldn't say I think I just became a leader here with Coach Ritter and, you know, the coaching staff. They told me I'm an older guy, so I need to lean into being a leader, because, you know, previous teams and everything, a winning locker room is not always coming. You know, this is a real winning locker room. I never really had one until now, so, yeah.
Talk about your chemistry with the guys in the locker room. What are you kind of noticing in the last few weeks?
For my experience for playing college basketball, I've never been a team that has been like more connected, like together. Like win, lose, or draw, we know we got each other back. It just don't matter. I just know we got each other back. We just fight through it all, go through the wall together.
And then being a defensive ace, you've gotten to match up a lot against really a lot of your players in this league. I mean, what kind of goes through your mind? How do you get yourself prepared for every game?
Honestly, sometimes I just think that no team can beat us. I just got that mindset of no one can really mess with us when we locked in. So I know if I'm locked in, everybody else locked down on defense.
Favorite moment so far this year for you as a player and maybe the team as a whole?
Definitely the 23 point comeback. I've never never experienced that in my life. That was one of the biggest things I ever did right there. That was definitely hands down best thing.
I asked Coach this question, but what was the locker room like after the game? I'm sure it was.
It was very fun. It's something you want to be a part of. Definitely. Like even at halftime, I don't think we ever had a doubt we wasn't gonna come back. We knew what we needed to do to win. So, and as soon as coach told us, we adjusted. We made it happen. Yeah, that was fun.
Can you talk about the importance of scouting and watching film come up when you play opponents and like your specific matchup defensively? Is that something there's certain things you picked up throughout your college career from watching film? And just talk about like the importance of watching film and how that helps you be prepared for your opponent.
I would to say film is probably the best thing, especially college basketball. You know, it always comes to the last possession, so every detail count. So the coaches give us the right scout. We just got to go through the plan every time. We just got to follow it. The plan is always clear and always right. We just got to go through with it. So scout film is always a big part of college basketball, most definitely.
Cam, for those folks who don't get to attend practices often, they just see you at game time. There's a tremendous amount of energy around this team, this staff during a practice. Share with us where that energy comes from and how you maintain that every day.
Honestly, our coach be fired up before practice, so seeing him go touch the rim or jump or our coaches clapping, it's kind of give us the energy to be able to know, like, okay, we need to get this pumping, we need to get everything riled up. This is what he like, aggression, defense. It's on how we're going to win. We know we got good practices, good game.